A number of years ago, Nexon decided to create a partner program called the Beam Brigade that was meant to reward outstanding content creators within the MapleStory community. With a minimum viewership threshold set to apply to the program, Nexon has grown the list of members to 25 creators and counting. The only issue with this is, they're greedy. Whoa, no, stop. This video is not in any way meant to attack the members of the Beam Brigade. I'm simply critiquing how Nexon has structured this program in a way that takes advantage of the creators that help to make the community into what it is today. Now you may be wondering, how exactly does the Beam Brigade partnership work? Well, once you're accepted into this program, you get to put this shiny badge on all of your content and have this super cool tag on your streams. And to top it all off, you get a whole $100 of an X every single month. Isn't that just amazing? No, not really. While they also get access to things like the test server to show off future updates slightly ahead of time, and possibly some other smaller perks that I'm simply unaware of. The benefits of being in this partner program are underwhelming, to say the least. If a member were to do the absolute bare minimum to get into the program, which is 10 hours streaming a month or 2 uploads a month, that would still only equate to, at best, $10 an hour. But many of these creators are doing far beyond that, so technically, the more they do, the less they get for their time. Also, from what I've heard, the base NX per month might even be lower than this, but then you can get up to $100 a month based on your views, which honestly is even more pathetic of Nexon if you ask me. For simplicity, we're going to stick to $100 a month just for the purpose of this video. Now obviously, a majority of the creators aren't doing this for the money. It's their passion for the game that drives them to make this content. But that doesn't mean they still shouldn't be compensated properly for their time. Especially since when they join the partner program, they are allowing Nexon to use their content in any way that Nexon sees fit. This is something that is worth way more than $100 a month. As someone who works full-time with content creators all across the globe, allow me to give you a bit of insight as to what creators are actually worth to companies that want to sponsor them. Depending on the genre of the content, creators can have a wide range of RPM and CPM. For context, RPM is how much the creator gets per 1,000 views after YouTube has taken their cut, whereas CPM is how much the advertisers are paying to have their ads played on your videos before YouTube takes their cut. In the gaming genre, creators will often see a range anywhere from a $1 to a $6 RPM, which depends on the popularity of the game, the engagement rate of their content, and who their target audience is. As someone newer to the MapleStory side of content creation, I can't say for sure where this game falls in that range, but this is just to help you guys get a general idea of the numbers we're working with. Now, when we get into sponsorships, there are a few ways that these can be handled. Often, creators will take a CPM deal, since the creator is working directly with the company and there's no middleman taking a cut. For these deals, CPMs most of the time would fall in a range of $17 to $25 per 1,000 views. This rate is that high because, like I said before, there is no middleman, and because it's the creator directly talking to their audience about the product, not an ad playing beforehand. Now, this is just to show you what creators' general worth is to companies, since Beam Brigade is set up more as a partnership rather than a sponsorship. The way partnerships work are the creators will get paid monthly, like Nexon giving $100 of NX a month, for a certain amount of hours streamed, which for this is 10 hours minimum, but they often do way more. If you really wanted to, you could take all of that and apply it to any of the creators to see what they'd be valued at for companies. But a reminder, these are the numbers my clients work with frequently, but this can still vary a lot from person to person. With that being said, Nexon probably feels that they don't really need to do these deals with the content creators of MapleStory since they're already making content about the game. While I would agree this is technically true, $100 of NX a month is still a laughable number, especially since it costs Nexon literally nothing to give them this. It's just a virtual in-game currency to them. Instead of focusing on content creators that make up the core of the game's community, Nexon focuses on giving out actual proper sponsorships to larger creators that are found outside of the Maple community, often during big summer and winter updates. While yes, this is a smart business move for them to do these sponsorships as it brings a ton of new eyes to the game, they should be willing to give Beam Brigade members more opportunities like this too. I mean, they are a billion-dollar company after all. I believe that if Nexon were to change how this partnership worked, it would incite growth in the game. So how would this work? Well, for starters, Nexon should introduce more ways for the Beam Brigade members to be compensated, whether it be actually getting some sort of CPM-based deal on the views they bring into Maple, or maybe an entirely different system that Maple hasn't seen before, like creator codes. One of the biggest selling points of Maple is the fashion, so this would just make sense to allow creators to have codes that viewers could use when purchasing items in the cash shop. This would in turn give those creators a small cut of this revenue. We've seen massive success with creator code systems in games games like Fortnite or Call of Duty, so there is proof that a system like this is worth it for companies to implement. Adding more avenues like this for creators to potentially earn from the work they do is super beneficial. When someone has an incentive to put in extra effort, they more often than not will. And when people want to put more time and effort into their content, that's when you really start to see a lot more growth. It seems like a lot of companies forget that having a strong presence on social media through content creators is how these games grow in popularity nowadays. When it comes down to it, it's Nexon's choice as to whether they want to make changes like this. And while I think it would benefit all parties considerably, everyone knows how greedy large corporations can be. If Nexon can randomly double the prices in our Meso shop for inflation, then surely they can at least increase how much they pay their creators due to the inflation within our economy, right? Nah, that would make too much sense. And as we all know, Nexon's decisions often don't make any sense at all. Now, I'm not necessarily making this video to spark a change in what Nexon is doing, but what I am trying to do is give both creators and viewers a better understanding of what their worth is to companies like this. And besides, if Nexon ends up seeing this video, they'll probably dismiss it as rage baiting anyways. These videos take a really long time to make, so please consider subscribing and watching this next video.